Welcome everyone to day number 2 of the 30K Eternal Clash, powered and brought to you by Challenger Mode. Big shout out to them, our sponsors, for providing, the prize pool for these players. We are playing for $700 today, as well as $50 that is going to go to, the best play, and that'll be $50 for the person that actually clips it, as well as, I think I might throw $50 in as well for the person that's in the clip making the sick play. So, tweet that at 30K.org from today if you want to get a little bit of extra cash and just, spread the ERBS action. But day number 2. Khroen, could you give us a little bit of a recap? What happened yesterday? If anyone that missed it, what kind of ERBS action did we see?
Yeah, first of all, hello, Michael. Excited to be here casting along with you, especially for the final day of this tournament. The finals are going to be super hype, but we still got to get through the semis first of all. And speaking of that, how do we get here right? Is from yesterday, the quarters. There were 4 groups of so many insane players. Was chatting a bit of, to you about it. And just like, it's so hype seeing ERBS tournaments where all the good players are playing. But I gotta highlight real quick 3 players that we saw. First of all, me as Roy won 2 out of the 3 games, nearly went 3 for 3. But actually, another player named J-Tang Sacella, I was able to take him out there. The only player to take out Roy yesterday, so I'm gonna have to keep my eye on J-Tang, of course, and as well as a Zahir player, Michael. This might interest you. I'm dominating. Actually has a super clean Zahir and had a great run yesterday. I don't think they won any games, but still showed some impressive stuff. So that's what my eye is going to be on. But we have this group here, Michael, and this group is so stacked. There's so many good players.
Yeah, I mean, we got some gamers. So you guys casted game number 2 and number 4 over on Cass's channel yesterday, and then we had game number 1 and game number 3. So our first best of 3 series, we had, Rengar Ossar in game number 1 pop off with a 7-kill Fiora. Followed up, we had another Fiora in the next game getting 6 kills, and then Prosser, on the Rozzy in the next group really was the standout player, having an 8-kill performance, and then pretty much off that game 1 just playing any hero he wants. He plays Sylvia in game number 2 and then Adriana in game number 3, and you could tell he was having a good time. So Prosser is someone that is going to be in this lobby, someone that I think definitely would expect to see in the finals. But there are so many strong players. I mean, both of us are HOTS boys, and we have someone like Cure, someone like Prismaticism in here as well, who have that legacy and history in gaming. Like, they definitely could come out and have a strong showing.
Definitely, man. Again, so many people. I'm excited to really see if anyone swaps it up from yesterday to today, because that is ERBS, right? Depending on the lobby, you might want to switch your paths or maybe even switch your whole character. Talking about some switches that you saw here yesterday, and I think we saw some throughout just the ERBS history. Prismaticism in this lobby is a player who sometimes struggles with what hero or what test subject he really wants to main, but found his footing yesterday with Rozzy. So I'm curious to see if they continue with it here today, or if anybody else switches it up, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's honestly my favorite part about these high-level competitive tournaments is the metagame that evolves, over the best of 3 or best of 5 series. What heroes do they potentially pull out? Because ERBS is a really unique game in that there's a meta, but also you can make pretty much any hero or champion work depending on, the route that you run or the strategy that you go for, because there's just a lot of depth in the way that you can play this game. And I think that's something that just at the highest level is so cool, because there's this added random variability of what heroes will be in your lobby. Because in like high level HOTS or League or Dota, it's like you have the meta picks that are pretty consistently played at, certain tournaments. But, in this one, it's like it truly is kind of player dependent versus hero dependent, which is a cool kind of change that is more, it feels like a Smash type game. So I've been loving this mix up.
Yeah, the matchups are important. I think quick shout out to Ishbu, I believe, started doing tier lists based on literally just the character matchup as opposed to just general strength levels. Obviously a fellow, a previous Heroes of the Storm player, but I think you do obviously have to take into account a lot of those specific matchups per your lobby, and that's element that is very, I guess, variable in every single game of ERBS. So yeah. Definitely gonna have to watch out for that one and how that'll impact these games today.
I mean, speaking about things that are going to impact the game, what do you think about the recent change to the final zone, where effectively, there is 2 zones? Like, how did that kind of play out in your guys' games? Because in ours, I definitely thought it had a lot of people dying to red zone that had interesting effects, where you'd have 7 or 8 people coming in, and then 3 or 4 people would end up just getting their timer knocked out. Did that happen for you?
Yeah, a little bit of that. A lot of just people brawling and fighting. A couple of a couple of timers that they were low anyway, but ended up exploding to that timer. But I think it's actually a huge change that's really good from the spectator point of view, because what happens, of course, is that you're gonna have sometimes in tournament play, people are gonna play safe. So like a lot of people left when there are those two zones. We had a game yesterday, there was like 7 or 8 left, and 6 of them died. So there's so much action. It's honestly kind of hard to catch because you're not going to be able to observe like both of the points, unfortunately. But wherever the most action is, it's super hype. There's going to be oftentimes 2 victors that come out of that, go to the respective safe zones, and then we get a bit of a time to reset, talk about this final build-up and final matchup. The tension is building. Who's actually going to take it at the end of the day after that whole big big brawl happens, and then you get to kind of culminate to that big final 1v1. So I personally am loving that final zone change. There are just a lot of other changes to ERBS recently in general. A huge content update. There's meteors that drop from the sky now. Yeah. You can go for trees. Meteors get early force cores consistently if you do win those. Like, there's a lot of implications with multiple changes that happened to ERBS recently. Even quickly going back to the safe zone changes, sometimes people would greed out the red timer to like take wick, but now maybe you don't really want to tick your red timer,
or even like a tree of life
low
type thing, right? Where like I used to go get those, and I actually saw someone in one of our games do that. They took on 15 seconds a tree, and it bit them later on in the game. So it's like maybe the strategy is going to change there, guys. We are going to be getting into the game. Unfortunately, we are only going to have 17 out of 18. One of the players was not able to get home from work in time for the lobby. We are on a bit of a quick timer because we don't want to overlap with ERCL duos later today, but we are getting into it. Game number 1 of day 2, the semifinals here. And I know for me, a Zahir in the lobby, it can't get better than this. I am so excited to watch I'm Dominating, come out and hopefully have a dominant performance on that Zahir. Was he running that, Alley Avenue Pond, or what route was he running?
Yeah, I believe so. That with the Ruthenium Marble, I think it was pretty standard Zahir build, I believe, unless something has changed up a lot recently. But yeah, I believe it was that route. I think also, quick note from I'm Dominating, they mentioned they were a Cassiopeia player in League of Legends, and that it felt like Zahir kind of like translated. And Cass and I were discussing that yesterday, and we're like, there is a lot of similarities, I think, between Cassiopeia from League and Zahir from ERBS, because I mean the Q is very similar. You got to land it. The E's comparably to the Cassiopeia E's from the Zahir W's, like sure they're not point and click for Zahir, but still it's a major you have to do well with your spacing, and that's going to make the difference oftentimes in a lot of fights. And I'm Dominating showed a dominant performance yesterday, taking some very clean 1v1s, like literally not missing a single ability and like 8 to 10 abilities. So I'm excited to see again him show up here today versus a very strong lobby.
Yeah, I mean, so many strong players here. Someone like Banks on the lead island, we saw pretty consistently making it to the late game, and just one-shotting people. Averse, there actually was such a cool moment where the lead island's on pretty much 200 HP. Averse is like 80% HP, and the lead island turns around, gets the kill on Averse, and like gets out with his life. And Banks just someone that cannot be underestimated in the late game. And I feel like recent ERCL champion Roy, this is definitely, I would say, the #1 person in this lobby, consistently top of the ladder, not someone that can be underestimated on this Kathy.
Yeah, Mia's Roy, first NA player to Titan, first NA player to Immortal as well, I believe currently is rank 2, but even still, Mia's Roy had such a dominant performance yesterday. It really looked like there was just a skill gap there between Roy and everybody else, so let's see if he can bring that same energy here today, move on to the finals. And if I were to be a betting man, I would bet that he would.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Dominating here on Zahir. Has to be happy. Looks like he's the only one in Alley, which means he probably got 2 lighters and the rubber. You see him with the flubber. Any 2-minute pre, TP to Avenue is a pretty good time. So looks like the Zahir is set up for a pretty good game. It looks like Kieran Deuce already trading some blows at Hospital. I mean, a lot of this area kind of being contested in school. 5 players right now. A lot of people may potentially come out of here with not very good loot.
Yeah, that's what you gotta, keep in mind when it comes to these players and what heroes or what test subjects they're playing and their routing. Sometimes it can get a little doomed here. Roy gonna be, relatively safe down there in Uptown, only contested by J-Tang as well. But yeah, 5 people in that school area. There's a few in Hospital as well. I know Hospital is a kind of a hot zone. for a lot of players, if not for the first couple of zones, and at least for zone 3 for a lot of players. Really, Rozzy actually being the main one there. Rozzy has, of course, that 3-zoner between Beach, Dog, and Hospital. Get the full build online. Gunner on the Adela as well, showing some Adela prowess. And Gunner settled on a bit of a hybrid, I would say, build for that Adela. Gonna be going that Mistletoe, as well as Imperial Crown, like Rocker's Jacket, things like that. Gunner doing pretty well there. Didn't really have an amazing performance yesterday, but good enough to get to here, and I'd like to see a pop-up from Gunner.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what it really comes down to, is making it to the next day, because you know, the money is just the final group, but Tree Guys is going to be spawning in around 40 seconds here, so to expect to see a fight potentially break out, as people are, you know, pretty much everyone on their purple weapon here. So we are going to see some of these players start to fall soon, as you know, they're contesting these next upcoming power spike items.
Yeah, ooh, Halifax actually there as well. Like, won some games yesterday as well. But Proster, yeah, chasing onto Binks here. It won't result in anything right now, but I'm curious to who will actually find first blood.
Yeah, I'm dominating very strong on this here. I mean, has the Burnished Aegis and the Marble. Gonna be, you know, pretty happy with this current situation. Cure, if he's not careful, potentially could fall to this here. I mean, if either of them get into a fight here, this could be a snowball moment. Getting hit by the taking a decent amount of damage. Tornado not gonna be able to connect here. Gonna fall very low here though. Cure down to 60 HP, doesn't have his weapon completed yet, does have the white rhinos. So I think Cure should be able to escape. I'm dominating, not gonna continue chasing. But Yang during all of this, gonna be kiting away from Ryan on that motorcycle though. Chrono get out.
Maybe not. Needs to go in. Bikes girl in a bubble, able to find some distance with that there, but Ren communication.
All very low here.
Survivor has
And it
been
looks like it's gonna go as well. I'm dominating, gonna die to Cure, so I'm gonna TP in though a lot of Cecilia. So, you know, you see 2-3 ults activating. They all are basically gonna activate the ult once they get it. So that is something going on here by Gunner. Really not a lot of people, you know, that proficient on this hero. Gunner definitely one that I feel like is one of the better ones. Consistently, you know, winning those high-level lobbies. Just such a strong player. 200 MS versus Roy. The ult from Kathy, not going to connect, and looks like 200 MS is going to try and cat out, but Roy very fast here, has those right winos finished up. I don't know if 200 MS is going to be able to escape here. The silence comes out, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Roy chasing them down, able to connect the root. And at this point, it's just a matter of time.
It is 200 MS, doesn't have the ults available, can't ult away. This is just a slow bleed out as Roy gets his first, gets online with that. Still has no completed chest piece or accessory, but didn't even need it, right? Is on that Carnivon, is on the radar as well. Roy starting to show his dominance in this lobby, but gotta, you know, go back and talk about how we have a moment. Cure going back and killing. I'm dominating. I didn't really expect that. I'm dominating had such a good start to that initial fight, but Cure healed up and was like, nah, this is my time. I'm going to be the king of the pond area, and did just that. The Cicellas, both of them actually. Oh, there are 3. J-Tang and Cure, definitely starting out strong.
Yeah, Proster as well is Khroen, do you know, I don't want to butcher this name. This viewer, do you know how to pronounce the name? Is it Young Woo?
I actually don't know offhand.
Okay.
Whatever you
If anyone in chat knows,
it.
can you please let us know? Because I definitely would like to pronounce the player's name correctly. I'm gonna call it Young Woo for now. On the Fiora, pretty strong here. Has the killer hills, able to turn that into red shoes if they are able to get that upgrade. Definitely a pretty big one on the Fiora. Provides lifesteal. But at this point, everyone going to be, you know, pretty much finishing up their builds now. And so it looks like the second tree in forest is going to spawn. Pie Master on this heart, definitely going to want to take that down. You know, it will really be very strong for their build. Because that's for the hearts. They normally need this for their build.
Yeah, we go for the Laurel Wreath with that Enat heart, of course. Prismaticum actually is trying to say, no, I'm not going to let you get this tree for free. I believe this matchup at this point would go over to the Rozzy, assuming that Prismat plays it well, but there actually is Aya Spy on the top side. Has something to say about this.
Yeah, Prism in a bit of a scary situation between 2
been
players. Curing all of this, actually. Getting kills. A lot of Cecilia's thrown out the ult, actually. And you see a couple different fights breaking out. Looks like Spy and Time Master still. Neither one of them wanting to give up the tree. Looks like
Yeah.
Gunner. It's just so many people kind of just posturing. Oh, actually, Spy's the game. It looks like Pie's gonna go for a bit of a hard commit here. Spy gonna get pushed off, probably just trying to secure that tree. Trying to finish it up, as it looks like Gunner as well in B. So there's gonna be another fight. Gunner very low. Trying to able to connect through it. Gunner falling. Halifax made the life score as well. No, with the turnaround action, the Fiora.
Fiora gets the kill there, and that was crit Kiara too. That's why a lot of damage coming out there from the auto attacks, but it's going to be, I'm just gonna go for it, Youngo. That's probably not how you pronounce it, but that's what I'm going with for now until someone corrects me. On the Fiora, has that Dobok, on the Durandal as well, gets the cleanup in that situation, but Halifax gets one, so at least that. But now, eyes on the Fiora as they're going to move towards the hotel area. Binks is here. Binks also on the Elysian Halo right now, actually, as well.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a very, very strong item. Something that we think will finish up. Actually, there is going to be a fight breaking out in hospital as Prosser as well as Deuce are going to be looking to chase the heart down. Still on just the steel arm, going to be able to activate the ult here, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. As Prosser on the Razi is going to try and chase him down Deuce as well. Both of them just want to get the kill, don't want to get third party, able to connect the tungsten. Maybe try and go for the last hit. He's going to be able to get a no. Prosser secures the kill. I would expect to see Prosser just yoinks that one and walks away.
And unfortunate for Wumbo there, the resident skill amp heart player, great at one-shotting characters, but not great at dealing with that, you know, getting third-party 2v1 kind of situation there. Unfortunately, Wumbo will fall. Wumbo did a great job yesterday about, you know, not really having a huge impact in terms of kills in the early to mid-game, but consistently making it to the, you know, final three, final five kind of area there. Not doing so this good, unfortunately, goes out in 11.
Looks like Binks actually falling very low here with the dodge. The ulto coming out from Binks. Able to take down the Fiora very close. I feel like deja vu from yesterday. Literally the same exact thing is what happened. You know, we turned around onto a verse. Binks very, very strong on this lead island, really just knowing their power spikes with the, you know, the lifesteal from the Moonlight Pendant and that, you know, Halo, just so tanky.
Oh yeah, definitely. The 30 defense that the Elysian Halo provides, as well as the 40 attack power, it's a real nice headpiece if anyone's able to get that one online. But this is a bit of the mid-game action. We got a minute and 15 until Wickeline. Not really a lot of action going on, but there surely will be an avenue here soon, I would imagine.
Yeah, I would expect people to break out, you know, around the wick. Checking in masteries, level 10 looks like it's going to be the top for Prosser, Cure, and Binks. Looks like actually Prosser and Deuce will be getting into a fight here on Hospital. Deuce be able to... Oh, okay, Prosser not able to connect that. Not going to be able to go in further. Missing the ult as well, just going to opt to back out, but may potentially look for another fight. Has the Moonlight Pendant, so able to just, you know, lifesteal up, get some of that extra mastery. And they're looking pretty strong as we have 9 players. Day number 2, 1 minute into 9. Deuce and Prosser are going to get Shadow Fighter. The stun not going to connect from Deuce, as Prosser is just going to do a little bit of damage and walk away, not going to actually, you know, force on into it.
Yeah, neither player willing to commit, but there is a fight between Cure and J-Tang actually. As Cure ends up taking out.
Dude, I feel so bad. I've missed like all of Cure's fucking kills. I mean, Cure out here. He's smurfing. He's got his VOD suit. He's got his Tachyon brain. Cure's out here farming. I missed it all. My bad. Cure doing very well. I mean, Viceroy, it looks like he went into school to finish one of, looks like he got the tax suit. But Pi, during all this, could be actually getting the win for free, potentially, if he does start up, as there's no one else here in
Yeah, I was gonna say, usually Roy is there on top of the Wickle line. You know, Roy oftentimes gets like so many RNG items, gets the frag rack online, but no, it's not gonna be a contest this time. It's gonna be Pie Master getting it for free. I'll just see what they build with that. They're already on the wall of a guitar. That one's pretty nice. Teleporting somewhere. Let's see where. It's gonna be uptown with nobody else, but in hotel here, Binks and Roy.
Yeah, looks like Roy gonna be cutting out here from Binks. Oh, Binks able to actually connect the ult here. Roy is gonna fall pretty low, down to about 400 HP. The surveillance cam coming out. Roy going to ult over the wall. Binks, though, with the follow-up, going to be able to connect Spy as well. Roy in a very serious situation here. The ult from Spy, and Roy is going to be taken down from Spy as well as Binks. And that's going to be the second kill going over to Binks. You know, having a pretty solid showing this lobby. Binks and Cure currently the two strongest people in the lobby. And then I also would say, you know, the person that just got Wick, Pie Master, cannot be underestimated. Very, very strong with the Laurel Wreath as well as the Radar.
Definitely hard scaling into the late game on that Enad build is going to be phenomenal. Pie Master, even though they have 0 kills, are still going to be a huge threat. But Roy going down. Yesterday made it to the top 2 every single time. 1-2 out of the 3 games. But now when the competition gets even tighter, when so many skilled players are here, and you get into a rough spot, Roy goes down finally. So have to see how they adjust into game number 2, but more action in the hotel area. Prismat getting chased down by Binks.
Maybe getting into a bit of a fight here. So it looks like Deuce as well as Spy and Forest are maybe fighting as well. Both kind of posturing. Deuce has been chunked. Yeah, a lot of these players kind of just looking for an opportunity. Vision coming down. Deuce as well as chunking out. Doing, you know, decent amount of damage there. Getting some mastery. Deuce. Yeah, both of these players are kind of content with this, depending on their food situation. You know, both of them kind of want to farm up some mastery. Don't want to get third-partied, though. Just looking for a potential kill opportunity. You know, posturing, prodding, maybe waiting for someone or an opportunity to arise. But during all of this, I mean, Cure, look at him. He's going to have so many fish and chips. Cure has at least 15 fish and chips in his inventory right now. Look at these. He's got 3 extra heated oils on the ground. Oh, my gosh.
I remember when Kira started like first playing ERBS, got so excited about like making chocolate chip cookies, and he's like, oh my god, fish and chips, and just gets really excited about making a bunch of food. I'm sure Kira has a lot of that on deck. Maybe one day we'll be able to see players' inventories in spectator mode, but not quite yet. Cure, however, Cure's done a lot of great improvement in his ERBS play. He's been like a huge grinder, making it to Titan like top 5 at one point, even as well. Like Cure has really impressed me with his performance recently.
Yeah, and I mean, it shows. This is, I would say, a really strong group. One of the, you know, some of the best ERBS players in the world, and Cure currently has 3 kills, and you know, it's top 7 placement for game number 1, and very solid performance so far. As it looks like Cure and Big are gonna get into a bit of a fight here. Cure not able to actually connect the tongue. Gonna throw down the vision, looking to kite out here. The question is, does the unstoppable hit? Yes, it does, but the bubble is gonna come out. Cure able to connect the tongue as well, does have his ult coming out. This looks like potentially a scary situation for Binks. It could go either way. Cure actually getting turned on, and Binks able to take him down. And that's a dead, one of the cis hive mind has fallen. Another one.
Yeah, Cure unfortunately goes down there. Wasn't able to dodge Lead Island ult with Girl in the Bubble. Would have liked to reactionary use that, but was not able to. But Binks, I would say, and a lot of people would say, I think, the best Lead Island player in North America. Let's see if they can keep the momentum up, but right now in Forest, we're going to get a bit of an action between Pie Master and Deus. Will it result in anything?
Yeah, it looks like Deus falling very low here. Pie Master still has that wick, so, you know, doing a lot of damage here. Deus is definitely in a scary situation. Does not want to be fighting this person. Able to use the bubble, but Deus going to try and kite. It's not going to be enough, though, as Pie Master is able to secure that kill, and now we are down to 5 players, and we're going to be going down to 5 zones in just about 30 seconds. Pie Master definitely one of the people you want to run away from, and Spy may be their next victim, as Pie Master is going to rotate over here.
Spy looting a board. Currently, Pie Master gets the jump. Can they follow it up? The IW comes out. The charm connects.
Oh, the charm. Pie Master able to hit it. Spy with the ultimate. It's not going to be enough, though, as Spy tries to run away and is not going to be able to get it. Pie Master, an absolute terror in the forest right now, taking down Spy as well as Deuce. And that's 2 kills in 4th place so far secured for Pie Master. Most likely going to lose his wick pretty soon. But, you know, in a very good situation heading into this endgame.
Definitely. The player masteries are pretty similar. It just Binks a little bit ahead of other players with 16. Pie on 15. Prismat and Proster both on that 14. So everyone has their tier 2 weapon abilities right now. Binks trying to get a little frisky on a Prismat here in the chapel.
Yeah, Prismat not really wanting to take this fight. Is he going to be able to juke the ultimate? Nope. A really good patience from Binks. Prismat, though, actually maybe able to turn it around. Going to be kiting here, activating the speed, running to the red zone. Going to try and just absolutely full retreat here. Doesn't want to fight. Okay, maybe I spoke too soon, as he did turn around, but now he is going to be running over towards Factory, potentially. Pie Master with the 3rd party, though. Binks now the one in a scary situation, as the charm not going to connect. The ult, though, coming out. Prism maybe the big winner here, potentially could come in for the 3rd party. Binks very low, and Pie Master actually, you know, able to get another one. Binks is fallen.
Man, it looks like Binks would have been able to like take out anybody in a true 1v1 scenario. It was looking like some real clean lead island plays. Unfortunately, Piemaster came in for the third party as Binks didn't have the ultimate available, couldn't use that to disengage either, of course, so ends up going down because of it, but still 3 kills to their name. 3 kills to Cure as well, who's also dead, but Piemaster, the 3-kill player that is alive, with 2 Razzies, so an all-ranged final 3 here. But when it comes to just pure 1v1 matchups, as long as Piemaster is able to connect the charm, that's the big one. And if he is able to do so, I think has the advantage versus both of these players. Just looking at the built other ones as well. Proster is on the Elysian Halo and the Moonlight Pendant. Everything else is pretty similar. But Prismat hasn't really upgraded anything yet.
Yeah, the thing is, Proster here may get jumped on by Piemaster if he's not careful. Don't know if you want to actually take this fight. Piemaster, you know, the person that we've watched slay the last 3 players in this lobby. Binks was very powerful, you know, and I definitely don't think Proster wants this. He knows it. Is going to start running away, but Piemaster may potentially push him out. Okay, so Proster is going to be forced to eat a couple seconds of red. You know, not that bad, but would expect to see these 2 Razzies maybe look for the third party in the final circle where they kind of team up onto that heart. But the thing is that if you're Piemaster right now, you really want to pick one of them off solo because, you know, Piemaster is probably pretty confident 1v1ing either of these 2 heroes. That, like, if he's able to get one and not get third party, you know, that's definitely going to be the play that he's going for.
Yeah, that would be huge. Doing a great job of scouting out right now. Has not found Proster yet. Really wants to do so, however. Priz does finally have an upgrade in the item. Has the red shoes online. So that's going to be pretty solid. Proster scouting out. Priz running down from the forest into the chapel area. Of course, Doc is going to be the final zone. Proster just waiting in the bush, hoping that Priz will face check. He won't be, however, because he is running towards the top side of the chapel, taking out the bats and the chickens on his way down.
Yeah, just maximum farm here. 50 seconds. Would expect to see the players, you know, continue to play it pretty patiently here, wanting to get all the loot they can, all the extra experience before they go into that final circle. This Piemaster is waiting for both of these Razzies to rotate through. So it looks like Proster looking to maybe get the jump here onto Prismat. If he's not careful, potentially could get choked here. Oh, Proster going for the ult, not gonna be able to connect it. Prism, conscious of that bush, not gonna get, you know, interacted on, as it looks like Pi going in here. Proster doesn't have the ult, gonna be looking to kite out, but 15 seconds until they're kind of pushed in here. Would expect to see, you know, very patient play continually. Don't think either of these Razzies want to be the one that's in the middle between the other 2 heroes.
Definitely, and anyone can get third party on this scenario, right? You know that everyone is around. Taking an engage oftentimes will spell a disaster for you if the third member is going to be looking for it, which of course they are. Now we're going to see our final 2 squares for this final zone in about 45 seconds. Nobody want to take the engage yet, Michael. The tension is building, but what is it going to result in?
Yeah, I mean, 30, 40 seconds, you know, until we get down to it. Last couple bears dying. But I mean, I'd expect to see one of 2 things happen. You know, maybe both the Razzies fight over one zone. But I just think Piemaster is most likely going to stand over here and then wait to third party the 2 of them fighting. You know, or maybe he postures, you know, a little bit aggressively and doesn't want to let either of them get in. But that's what I'd like to see him do, is, you know, play on this bottom zone and just hold it. You know, let them fight it out, let them duke it out. Because maybe it looks like he actually is going to go here onto Prismat. The ult from the Razzie thrown down.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good point that you made. I think the person who holds the one zone is going to be chill and just wait for the other 2 to, you know, just kill each other off and then go for the 1v1 there at the end. And Piemaster we're talking about is going to be advantage in that 1v1 scenario, it looks like. Yeah,
as it looks like Prism now holding the other circle as well. So Piemaster, you know, opting to be in this one. Proster really in a hard situation here, just going to look for the all-in potentially onto Prismat. The ult coming out, Prism able to just get the kill. Piemaster connecting the charm. Prism falling very low here. This looks disastrous. He needs to full retreat, needs to full kite. Only has 24 seconds, and it's not going to be enough. Piemaster in game number 1, securing first place and 4 kills, and, you know, a very strong placement leading into the next, you know, couple of games to make it into those grand finals.
Pie Master with an absolutely dominant performance there. Took a bit to get online, but that's what happens with those ENAD builds. As soon as Pie Master got there first, we knew that they would be a threat all the way until the end game, and they closed it out there versus both Rozzies. Props to Priz for catching Proster out there in a really bad situation for Proster. Ended up, taking a few autos before going in. Did so while going through one of the traps. Priz landed the ultimate as well, and yeah, Proster just lights out. Priz was still almost full HP, but it didn't even matter when it comes to fighting Pie Master. Pie Master on that heart, man, is really just a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, Proster really put in such a rough situation there. But, looking at the final tallies, Pie Master first place with 4 kills, Prismat second place 1 kill, Proster 1 place 3rd kill, and then some, notable mentions. Binks 4th with 3, Cure 3 kills as well in 7th. So both of those players securing a decent number of kill placement. And that's something that we will be updating you guys with the scoreboard once we have that. But, looking into this next game, what are some adaptations potentially that you'd like to see? I mean, are there some players that maybe you feel like fell a little bit early, or that, yeah.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, I think that obviously with this lobby being as stacked as it is, there's gonna be players who just fall early, right? Rin, consistent top 2 player yesterday, literally went last place in this game, number 1 here. I don't exactly remember quite how it happened. It was a long time ago, but I mean, Sylvia really does a great job at avoiding a lot of fights. Kiyoya, another Sylvia player, did a great job at just avoiding fights early game yesterday, getting to those top placements, but not being able to do so there. Maybe we need to change up the routing a little bit. Maybe we need to change up something else. And speaking of change-ups, Gunnar on the Sedella, it's been okay at best, I would say, but maybe Gunnar should take take another test subject out to drive right now and see what's going to be happening with that one, because the Adela is really just, I think, lackluster, at least it feels like for me.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him, I feel like, make some decent plays, but I feel like the hero just got a little bit tuned down, right? Where it's kind of hard for you to actually finish those kills, because I feel like when she was on release, she was a little bit broken, and because of that, they tuned her numbers down, which makes it so it feels like she has a sick combo. It looks flashy, like you can make cool plays, but you don't actually have enough damage to finish them. It's kind of been my experience, and that's something that, like, I also don't play it to the level that Gunnar does, so like maybe I just need to get freaking good. But that's something where it's like, I know Gunnar has a really versatile hero pool, and maybe some characters that we know we consistently know can place higher, could be something that's better, or maybe not.
Yeah, we'll have to find out. A quick production question.
Yes.
I don't know if it's possible for you to do so right now.
Hit me with it.
Can you reshare on Discord to like the game instead of just monitor capture?
Yes.
Because it was laggy. Okay, cool. I didn't know if it would break anything.
No, you're good. Yes.
Well,
sorry about that. Thank you. Is this better?
We'll see when we get into game.
Okay. I probably was tabbing. That probably was why. Sorry.
No, it was really weird actually. It was like so stuttery. So it's hard to watch from the spectator instead of your feed. But that is all good. We are getting into game number 2 here soon. The lobby is filling up, and I mean that really didn't go how I fully expected it to, of course, but I'm sure these players are going to have a couple more games to really show their stuff, and I'm hoping to see that. Roy dropping, and I believe it was around like that 8th spot, is still like okay, and you might be able to move on to the finals with some just average performances, but you don't really expect average when we think of me as Roy, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. Mia's Roy is someone that consistently, got first place in the ERCL duos or the solos tournament. Top of the ladder, like someone that, at least for me, in the conversation of who are the best players in ERBS, I feel like he is consistently someone that I hear other people mention, right? Someone like him.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like a verse is also in that conversation. I feel like there's not been that many tournaments. I feel like Homecoming, someone that I've heard thrown in that conversation as well. Like a lot of the people that have kind of won some of these entry-level tournaments. And it'll be interesting to see how the next like 6 months to year of ERBS tournaments go, to really see who are the best ERBS players. Because I think that's what we're going to figure out in 2021. And that's what I'm really hyped up to see.
Definitely the consistency of the players, right? And Mia's Roy has been very, very consistent as of late, but I know I'm excited just as you are to see the future of ERBS. Like the scene is relatively young, right? I mean, I guess, there's been some months now with some tournaments and moving along, but the next trajectory of the year, we will, of course, see these solidified competitors. Who's going to be on top remains to be seen. There is always a lot of changes happening with ERBS, right? And that can change up, how you play the game. Sure, good players can be good players, but just have to see who's able to adapt on the fly. Me as Roy, of course, doing so, but I would say a lot of players can. Like, there's just so much potential with so many of these players here.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. Where I feel like there's so much potential for them, to come in and be able to win this. So someone that I feel like we had a pretty good game, I'm dominating on that Zahir, did fall to Cure. It was rough because it's like, as a Zahir, my heart went out to him because if he hit one more W, he would have gotten that kill and snowballed the game. And it's like, it really, with that hero, it comes down to like just little missing small skill shots. And I guess every hero's that way, but that one just has like bulk and mass. And I'd like to see him get another strong performance because his route running was solid. If he just secures that kill, I think it's a completely different game because Cure went on to have 3 kills, right? So maybe I'm dominating as this here with 3 or 4 kills that game instead. And that's kind of the fun thing about ERBS is it's like those one-on-one team fights that are so close really dictate and decide where the game goes.
Yeah, they have huge implications moving forward. If one player snowballs over the other, it can change the whole course of the lobby, right? Because players will approach, say, a Zahir matchup a bit differently than the Sacela. And who knows, like, based on the positioning, the rotations, what could have happened from there. It's really just a whole nother world of a game that could have happened there. Still waiting on the lobby to fill up, waiting on, I believe, one more player, but excited to get into the action for the next game. Excited to see if anyone does swap up their test subject. I don't really expect it, honestly, but the possibility is there.
Yeah, no, I definitely am really interested to see how it is going to play out. Just trying to get the scoreboards 100% updated, guys. If you do exclamation point bracket, you can see it as we will be updating it there as well. Yeah, just waiting to get a couple more players into this lobby. Really excited to get into this game number 2, to see what players are going to advance. Are we going to see another killer performance from Piemaster? Are we going to have another wick into 4-kill banger? Because that's the thing is that he had a bit of a, quiet early game. And really, I feel like he got that second tree, and then he snowballed that into Wick, and then from there, that's where he really kind of unlocked his hero. And that's what that's just something that it's like, I wonder if someone maybe contests that tree a little bit harder, because it was Spy on that Aya trying to stop it. Maybe someone else goes there and is like, I'm not going to let Piemaster have a free game.
Yeah, Priz was there too as well at the beginning. Spy came down and kind of chased Priz off, but then it resulted in Piemaster kind of getting online from there. Oftentimes, just based off of the hero or the test subject, Hearts will have a very quiet early game and then scale super well into the late game. So it really comes down to, can you stop them? Can you kill the Heart players early, or are they going to be able to escape? They have the showstopper as well, that ultimate that allows them to escape pretty well a lot of the time, as well as just the dashes. You can go over the walls and everything like that, so you can be very slippery. Hard to really punish that, especially from a practiced Heart player like Piemaster has the name. Escaped me for a moment there.
That happens to me.
Nah, you're right.
Sorry. All right, it looks like we are going to get into it, guys, as we have all 18 players in the lobby. They're all spamming R as they do. And we are getting into, guys, game number 2. Who is going to have the rebound? And also, we have all 18 players. So we have a second Zahir joining the lobby. Isu-sama was unable to make it for the first game, but was able to get here for the second game. So, that is a bit of a disadvantage. We did just place him with 0 kills, 18th, but can have a killer game number 2 and game number 3 and actually come out and make a placement. Because that would be such a sick story. I would love that. That would be awesome.
It's very well possible, right? Because we're going to be moving the top 9 of each group into the finals, right? And getting top 9, you just need to have like one pop-off game to do that there. So definitely well within reach from Isu. Isu, of course, being one of the staple Zahir players in North America for such a long time, actually, now when it comes to the relatively short tournament scene that ERBS has had. But definitely excited to see how Isu, kind of throws a wrench into other players' plans. Specifically, I'm dominating.
Yeah, having another Zahir starting an alley, if you get behind them, it really is such a scary situation because you need 2 lighters and a rubber and alley. If you don't get all 3 of those, your game really kind of hurts because that's your boots, that's your weapon. And that's the thing, is that like if there's maybe three players in alley, it can just become a very scary situation. So right now only one in alley, so both of them are probably going to be happy with that. But it looks like ISU actually opting to start archery, where there are 4 people, so very contested this game.
Yeah, 4 people in archery. Oof. All right, let's see how that one works out. And you know, you can't keep track of what loot everyone does have, but we'll start to see it when the crafts come through and who has not crafted at that point yet. Has there been any other test subject changes? I don't think I'm seeing many, if any at all. I don't know if you noticed anything.
I don't see any. I mean, ISU, I think, is going to be the only one hopping in. ISU actually getting the good spawn here of archery. That is something I did want to see. If you're able to get in front of him, though, it's going to be a decent advantage. But if you are ISU, assuming you have the rubber, you are pretty happy with the fabric armor and that hat. But I mean, heading into alley, it is going to be pretty contested. A lot of players here in hospital.
Yeah, Fiora starting in this area as well. Not too surprising. Spy gonna be teleporting on out of there. Goes towards the temple area, of course. This early game, not really too much gonna happen. We'll have to see, you know, that action. I think once people get their weapons online, see some fights there. But I am curious, of course, about that Rozzy power spike. You know, up to that dock and factory level. Proster does get the leather from the chicken. That's the huge thing with this route, actually. If you get the leather or not, because then in dock, you're able to find a quick battery. Boom, you get the electron blaster, and yeah, Proster did get leather. So that's I don't want to say high roll because there's 60% chance for it, but it feels real bad when it's a meat and stuff.
Yeah, when you don't get it, it feels very low roll, right?
Yeah.
Because you have no weapon and you're just like a walking Rozzy waiting to die. So Proster definitely has to be happy and has a free dock as well. So I feel like the Rozzy coming out of this is going to be very powerful. As it looks like Pi gonna walk into open here. Does have the purple guitar finished up as well. Gonna be, you know, some heart-on-heart action. Is Pi gonna be able to connect it over the wall as well? He is.
Ooh.
And that is going to most likely gonna be one dead heart. Able to connect the Q. Pi very close, almost, you know, 200 HP. Might be able to get out here. So close.
Just needs a couple more auto attacks. Dodges out Wumbo's Q there. Can Pie Master land it? Yes, he does. The chase continues. Wumbo has no more mana left, but looks like it done a good enough job at kiting away. That is huge. The skill amp heart at this point, before getting items online, did not have the purple guitar at that point, but now could maybe do something. Probably no one shot though. Isu, Sama, and Spy gonna be near each other in the alley area here. Isu not on the full marble yet, just on the spiky one.
Yeah, it looks like he's maybe going for a bit of a greedier build, delaying the gold, so not opting for the pawn fight, as he did probably know that I'm dominating Cure as well as, you know, Yang. We're gonna be there. So I think this is a pretty decent adaptation from Isu. Not want to actually fight the very contested pawn third zone that he, you know, knew a lot of these spellcasters were going to use. But Tree of Life now spawning up Ryan with the VOD suit as well as Binks. Actually, 200 MS and Gunner around as well. So we may see some action start to break out here as Gunner is going to be chasing down 200 MS. Does has the straight deck of sneakers, and this looks like a very scary situation for the Fiora here. Oh, Gunner using the board to actually move forward. Really good mobility here. 200 MS is falling low, but this is, you know, a very time-consuming chase. If they are able to get the kill onto the Fiora, 200 MS falling low. Does probably have the E soon, but the stun gonna come out, and that should maybe be it for Gunner. But Ryan, after all that work, just steals the kill. Gunner's pissed during all of this. Pure actually does fall to I'm dominating. But Gunner, you know, your heart pours out to him for that one.
It feels so bad. Did all the work, and then Ren comes down to Sylvia, says, yoink, that one's mine. Thank you, Gunner. And I'm maybe even gonna chase you down as well. Ren not opting for it, starts to fight the bear, but Gunner, no, Gunner wants vengeance right now, it looks like. Did not connect any with the queen landing, so Ren is going to continue on this for now, but actually steps away.
Yeah, and I want to hop into I'm dominating. He did slay Cure during all of this, so it looks like he was able
to... Got the revenge.
Yeah, got the box as well, so going to be decently strong going into pond here, as Prismat on the Rozzy is pretty strong, trying to chase down Deuce, still on the spiky bouncy ball, so Deuce very weak here. Prismat going to chase Deuce down, able to connect the ult. This looks like a very scary situation. Just gonna loot up and actually walk away.
Yeah, lands the ultimate, but Girl in the Bubble gonna counter that one out. Wumbo actually is gonna start falling to someone here on the map. Looks like might be Mia's Roy.
The ult does come out. Almost no mana though on Wumbo. Very scary situation. I think Mia's Roy is going to be able to take him down as Wumbo is going to be the first to fall to Roy. But it looks like in Temple we may see a bit of a fight break out as Deuce as well as Yang are going to be around here during all of this. So Binks and Pymaster gonna maybe be able to go over the wall. Binks gonna get stunned by the bear, but you know, it's fine with that. Binks very strong here. I mean, very much not a hero you want to play and 1v1 against.
No, definitely. I thought Binks was going to chase over the wall there for a moment. Didn't end up doing so. Deuce trying to chase towards I'm dominating a little bit. Fiora is in the area as well, but Halifax actually takes out Prismat. Halifax again throwing that crit Kiara. Over the other side, another showstopper comes out from the heart.
So many team fights all over the map here. So it looks like Pymaster going to try and kite away. Forced to use the ult, not going to be able to connect the charm. Pymaster had a very strong showing in game number 1. Is he going to go down here? Ryan trying to take down the lobby leader, doing a lot of damage. This looks very disastrous for Pymaster as he is going to fall. Ryan did make a lot of noise though. And there is Binks on this lead island coming in as well as Spy and Kiyoya and Forest potentially could see another fight break out here.
Yeah, not going to see the Pymaster tree, however. It's just Kiyoya and Spy opting for this as well. Spy trying to start channeling, but no, knows that Kiyoya is there. Doesn't want to get chunked out for free. Checks the bush with the W. On the other side here, Gunner and Binks. Gunner pops the ulti. Binks dodges it.
Yeah, it looks like a fight going to break out as Gunner going to be able to connect the stun, just kiting away from Binks. It did go a little bit low there. Potentially Binks, just a hero that has so much all-in potential. Speaking of, I'm dominating, gonna fall to Prosser, who has that mithril armor as well as, you know, Sheath very strong on the Razi right here, full build. So looks like Fiora is gonna come in. Not sure if they want to take this 1v1. As you know, another fight may be happening in Pond here with Gunner and Deuce.
Gunner and Deuce posturing, a lot of players posturing. Not gonna be a ton of kills though. Unfortunately, it was dominating who fell. Did end up getting one. Spy actually takes out Jangtang in the meanwhile, but Deuce maybe the next to fall.
Yeah, Deuce falling very low here. Gunner chasing them down. Deuce still on the spiky bounce ball. You hate to see it. Able to connect the tongue. Is it gonna be enough though? Gunner with the mobility forward, showing that but no! Gunner, it's tragic! Deja vu! His kill gets yoinked again, but his life may be the next thing. Gunner trying to kite out here down to about 500 HP. The sidestep! And he's out! And he loses. Oh, Gunner.
Oh, tried to greed loot. Maybe didn't have any food. The ulti comes out, but it's not going to be enough. Binks surely has the chase there. And, oh man, Rapier skills to the wolf, but the wolf just says, bite, you're dead. Binks gets the second of the game, and that's such a tragic end of this run for Gunner. You get 10th. You pretty much had 2 kills, but both of them got yoinked away. Oh man. How it goes out to Gunner there.
Dude, and in the same spot too. Literally Deuce is right here. ERBS is right. It's like the same stretch, man.
Actual deja vu, man.
But you know, sometimes that's how it goes in this game of ERBS. But it looks like, you know, day number 2 night. We have 9 players remaining. 2 kills on Binks, 2 kills on Ryan. Definitely would say those 2 are leading. Binks 12 mastery, Ryan with 10. Boots of Hermes as well as an EOD suit. You know, inventory is looking pretty strong for both of them. But I think Wick spawning within the next couple moments here will be, or the next few minutes here will be a very important, you know, objective that people fight over. Whoever gets that will be, you know, the strong leader heading into the final zone.
Definitely, at least one of them, but actually Young are getting engaged on by Proster, and Proster with the Razi finds the second. Both of these kills have been very, very fast blow-ups. First it was I'm dominating, next it is Young Yo. Proster gets his second. I would say is going to be one of the players to contest maybe that top spot. Going to be now on 2 kills, joining Rin and joining Binkster in that club. Mia's Roy found the one, just like last game, but has had a slow rest in the mid game here. But we know Wick spawning in 1 minute. Roy probably going to be making his way towards there. No, Roy didn't contest the Wick line last game, but traditionally likes to. Curious to see. Yeah, already on the fragger rack as well at this point. So maybe that's the power spike that you need to want to, you know, go for that Wick.
Yeah, Roy looking really strong here with the double legendaries as well. Binks did teep into Av, so, you know, would make me think that he is going to be looking to play for Wick as well. Not wanting to give that up for free for anyone.
Yeah, Binks, I think one of the strongest, I think, out of, you know, the top players in this lobby right now. This lead island prowess, it just seems actually insane. Binks utilizes that dodge mechanic on the W when you start drinking so well to negate very impactful auto attacks from literally like any auto attacker. And there are so many auto attackers in this lobby, right? There's Roy, there's Proster, there's Halifax on the crit Kiara as well. So Binks having some good matchups there and even can find the burst onto the other ones as well. Binks going into the red, try to do this Wick here, but Roy smells it.
Roy coming in, Wick falling down, low to half. Binks already eating a decent amount of time to win. Is Binks gonna be able to get it? Who does? Binks secures it, and Roy, all of a sudden, this situation looks a little bit scary. Roy does activate. Oh, Binks only has 10 seconds of red though. Potentially something that could be exploited later. Roy not wanting to take this goal. Binks, though, if they're able to connect the ultimate here, could be the end of Roy. No! Roy, though, gonna go instantly for the turnaround. Now that he recognizes Binks did miss the ult, Roy still has the ult, just gonna opt to use it out, as it looks like Spy is going to walk in as well and look to maybe finish off and chase down Roy.
Yeah, has that pistol skill, so has the movement with it, but Roy's just so fast, ultimated away. Maybe running into some players in pond here. Kiara is one way and Zahir is the other. Does lifesteal up with that 4. Oh, Isu doesn't connect the stun.
Isu does throw down the ult as well as the vision, does have 2 axes setups. Halifax gonna walk over, may potentially get hit by the axe. Isu has been spending a decent amount of time here building traps, which is what you want to do as the Zahir. You can really farm a lot of traps here. Maybe TP2 and archery, you know, combine your spike planks as well as your mouse traps to basically turn it. Wait, I totally messed that up. Spike plank are not used for guillotines. It's the mouse trap plus the rusty cemetery sword. Yeah, so basically you build it in pawn, go to hospital, TP archery, build yourself a bunch of guillotines. You know, that's how you prosper as the Zahir.
Definitely. Mia's Roy has to wait for that ultimate to come back up before they're going to feel safe enough to get another engage. Well, probably won't opt for anything here. And this is kind of that awkward point. After the Wick line goes down, everyone's just like, all right, I'm just going to farm up. And maybe if I cross somebody, maybe we'll scrap a couple of blows. But oftentimes don't result in kills. But Mia's Roy going to look for that kill here until Isu.
Yeah, Isu on the Zahir falling low. Good juke back into the vision. Going to be able to walk away from Roy. Does drop an axe. Roy maybe gonna walk in through, able to just walk by it. Isu not gonna be able to connect the Q. And at this point, just gonna be forward retreating. Everyone, you know, taking it pretty slow here, just trying to, you know, farm up. You see everyone pretty spread out as we are down to 8 players.
Down to 8 players. We have the full lobby of 18 this time, so 10 have fallen, a little over half. Binks in that beach area, getting a little bit close to Rin, but no, I'm just gonna opt for that box as well. On the Chinese Opera Mask and Moonlight Pendant, and I believe the Mithril Gloves, if memory serves me correct. Yeah, the Imperial Silk Gloves, they are very, very strong here for Binks, and I think they've been on those for quite a while, so that's definitely is a factor in them getting the couple of kills earlier. Looking for more here soon. Speaking of looking for more, maybe Isu looking for another scrap. And just walks away, however, and yeah, that's kind of what happens at this point. People are just like, oh, you're there, all right, maybe trade a couple of blows, and all right, I'm gonna kite out of here.
Yeah, speaking of that, you know, Froster taking a little bit of damage here, but not wanting to take the fight. Contesting the legendary crate just a little bit. Probably not gonna full commit onto it as Spy. What did you get? Are you gonna drop it? Okay. Thank you, appreciate it, Spy. Dropping it for the obs, and then putting it into the car so that no one else can use it. You know, what a homie.
Good stuff there. Isu in the beach area. Proster. Oh, the Q comes out, but is not land based on where Proster is standing when taking that console vision. What's gonna happen here? A lot of stuff building up, but nothing really transpiring yet. This beach and hotel zone will close off in 1:20 here. So maybe we can check in players' masteries, see who's gonna be on top of that game right now. Binks with the 15.
Yeah, Binks at 15. Halifax actually at 14, been farming pretty well. And then a couple people at 13, Froster, Ryan, as well as Roy. As it looks like Binks is going to be chasing down another potential tier here. Isu Sama falling very low, able to connect the tornado, but the ultimate from Binks is going to connect. And Isu, actually Binks, is this going to be game from last game? No, Binks able to get the kill onto Isu and able to get out. I was worried about the potential third party there, but gets another kill to their name.
Yeah, getting the kill too, giving you that HP, instant HP, really dissuades the Aya from wanting to chase that further. Maybe Binks was very low would have done so. But over here in the forest area, okay, Proster lands the bomb onto Rin. Rin gives chase with the bike now.
Okay, I'll go back to the other ones. All right, there are two fights happening at once as Prosser is going to get gone on by Rin from the bike. Prosser kiting Rin, actually just healing up so much here. So tanky with that Eo Jutsu, as well as the Boots of Hermes. And it looks like Prosser here is just getting out-sustained. The Buccaneers as well, providing that life steal and the Mistral String in the perfect position. Oh, Ryan, getting off the bike. No!
Oh. The bike running out of fuel. No more bike left, so Proster might escape because of it. Running into the red actually as well. Maybe going for the uptown TP, but Ren still gets more fuel going to new zones. Proster, will he fall?
Oh, looks like Proster trying to turn around here. Not going to be able to do it. Trying to just, buy as much red time as he can. And with that, it looks like Ryan is going to be forced to TP out, and Proster may be able to actually come back in. Yeah, Proster actually lives these, depending on where his TP goes.
Yeah, the TP. Where is it going to come through? Proster, time is ticking down. Okay, he's going to get out of here with 1 second left, I believe. No, he doesn't. He actually falls to the zone there.
Oh, no. So close. Literally so close. That little stutter step actually getting him killed. Maybe he selected the wrong zone and wanted to go somewhere else. It's 6 players at this point. Man.
That's the high pressure situation where like just that slight misclick. If he TP'd instantly when he got to that teleport, sure, would have been out. Would have 2 or 1 seconds left, but oh man, that's so unfortunate for Proster in that situation. You hate to die to red when there's still so many zones open, but that's the way it goes sometimes. We get down to our final 6. Binks still gonna be ahead in mastery, I believe, but Halifax, Crit, Kiara I turn into a fight here.
Yeah, Halifax looking to kite out here, looking to escape. Halifax and Binks kind of posturing. Binks looking to come in here. 30 seconds until we go down to just, these 3 zones. So Ryan and Spy may potentially be pushed in a little bit, but would expect to see everyone still kind of farm up here. We see Roy probably going to take out these bears. Oh my gosh, look at this inventory. Got the Halo, the Radar, the Hermes. Roy is very happy with the pacing of this game.
Extremely. You could actually have full legendary slots equipped technically. Probably won't opt for the chest piece there, but could go for Emerald Tablet if these bears provide a 4 score. 3 4 scores between Frag Rack, Lucine Halo, and Hermes, right? That's so much.
Yeah, Binks here though. Roy doesn't actually want to take the fight. Binks very scary in their own right, as it looks like Roy is just going to try and full kite away. Actually turning around now. Maybe I spoke a little bit too soon as the silence does come out. Roy gonna hit level 20 during this fight. Does have the ult. Binks maybe biting off a little bit more than they can chew. Activating the ult though. Binks, able to sidestep Roy's ult, and they're very low here. Roy gonna go down. Binks wins another 1v1 team fight. It makes it look so close every time, but in the end able to pull it out.
Wow, Roy going down 1v1. Roy is probably the only player you didn't want to fight at that point was Binks. Binks making it look clean with this lead dial in. That is some good action there. On the 4th kill, of course, Kiyoya, the only player left to have 0, but that's kind of the Kiyoya classic, just ratting it out. Maybe some Sylvia on Sylvia violence here, but both of them just gonna go their separate ways.
Yeah, it looks like Ryan here actually getting gone on, taking a decent amount of damage from Halifax, who activates the ult. Ryan just full kiting. Oh, down to 500, and Halifax actually able to take Ryan down. So much damage from this Kiara, and is just going to run away. I mean, Halifax looking very scary. Has 17 mastery at this point. Actually, only tied with, even close to Binks. Binks has been farming the whole lobby. Halifax really has been farming the animals very well this game, having such a high mastery.
Definitely got the reset with the ultimate as well. That's very important. The Kiara ultimate will be coming back up in just a few moments here, so they can take another fight if they want. Probably don't want to take a fight against Binks again, of course, but maybe the other 2 players. There is still that Aya that remains, and Kiyoya as well. Both of them, I believe, are a bit lower mastery than the other 2.
Yeah, it's 13 and 14.
Yeah, 13-14 to that 17-18. Binks moving forward here onto Kiyoya.
Yeah, Kiyoya pretty much wanting to full retreat here. Gonna, go out of the motorcycle. Doesn't really want to... Oh, Binks with the ult, though. Able to actually connect it. Kiyoya full kiting here. The level 18 to the level 20 Spy coming in, trying to just go straight for the KS. Maybe putting themselves in a scary situation, though. Binks, that was funny.
Yeah, it went in for the third party. Bing said, "Nah, get out of here." Immediately turned on to Spy there and said, "We're not going through this one." Bing's moving down towards this bottom safe zone. Maybe he's gonna be able to hold it for free. Actually, that would be huge. Just letting the other three players fight it out, and then coming in for the 1v1 after. Spy, the only player not currently in either one of the zones, being bullied out. But Bink's actually stepping forward here towards the rest of the members.
Yeah, Kiyoya and Spy having a bit of a 1v1 here. Kiyoya going down to about 40%, actually falling very low here. Spy is going to go in, commit pretty hard. Kiyoya with the turnaround. But during all of this, Binks coming in, wants to get these kills for themselves. Not going to be able to get either of them, but able to push Spy pretty far away, as it looks like Halifax is just going to be playing on their own zone, and Spy at some point is going to be forced to push into Binks. And when that happens, I am worried for, you know, this situation of the Aya.
Yeah, the timer on Aya is not long enough to wait out this whole couple of zones, so they have to use their whole HP bar just to get in. May fall here soon.
Yeah, Binks just doing so much damage. Spy only down to about 20 seconds. Going to just try and full kite. Doing a bit of damage here. Forcing the ult actually from Binks. And now we're going to come down to the 1v1 of Halifax versus Binks.
Alright, Halifax opting to move forward. And the timer is going to favor Halifax here, but not the HP bars.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, maybe they kind of had to kite out there. Maybe that's what Halifax plays for, is just ratting out, playing the time. It is going to be hard, though, once the zone does go back to the other way. Really think this 1v1 into Binks, the boots of Hermes, Chinese opera mask, you know, Imperial silk gloves, moonlight pendant, very, very strong, you know, up to 20 mastery, so pretty much capped. Yeah. You know, Binks, I would expect, unless something goes very tragic, would probably win this 1v1. But I mean, how does Halifax turn around, right? Like, what do they do here?
Has to be dodging the Binks ultimate, right? The Binks ultimate coming up here soon. Halifax has to space super well. Not get the auto attacks blocked really by Binks with that W, but not going to be a good start to this fight here for Halifax, dropping so low and might actually fall here. Wow.
Binks? Binks with a 6-kill game number 2. I mean, solidifying a lot of points there for themselves. Binks having a very, very solid showing. Yeah, well done by Binks. Well done by, you know, everyone kind of in that game number 2. We had Halifax getting 2 kills as well. Second place, Spy, 2 kills as well. Third, Kiyoya ratting it till the end, getting that 4th place. You know, Roy had a very strong inventory, but only was able to get 1 kill with that 6th place. But, you know, pretty solid showing so far. And then Prosser as well, 2 kills. So, you know, kills were pretty evenly distributed outside of Binks just having a completely monster game on that lead island.
Definitely a very standout game there for Binks, and you love seeing those pop-off games, right? The 6-kill bangers are definitely super hype. Okay, actually, I believe chat corrected earlier. Proster did not have enough SP to TP immediately, so it wasn't that it was like a misclick or anything like that. Just literally did not have the SP for it, which is super unfortunate, really, in that scenario. But Proster still got 2 kills to his name there, so going to be solid in terms of moving forward here. A lot of 2 kills spread throughout a lot of members, right? Ren with 2, Spy with 2, Halifax there at the end, but no one strong enough, of course, to stand up to Binks.
Yeah, Binks so powerful, and we are going to be hopping over to the scoreboards, guys, as you see Binks after that game with 51 points. First place, Pie Master as well, you know, in second place. It'll rotate back through, but this way you guys can see, you know, Prism and Cure, 2 of the Hots boys, 8th, 9th, Roy currently in 7th place. So really, I feel like since Binks has had such a strong game number 1 and 2, and so many of those points are top loaded, are, you know, top end heavy, I think that there is a lot of opportunity for these players to, you know, potentially break in and qualify.
Oh, definitely. If someone has a real strong game number 3, they get, you know, a 6-kill pop-off. I'm pretty sure that's kind of all you need to break into that. We'll have to see if anyone does do that. Mia's Roy, again, kind of dropping out in that, not like middle of the pack, but a little upper middle of the pack this time. Only 1 kill to his name, even while being on, you know, 4 legendary items, right? Had the frag rack, had the radar, the Elysian Halo as well, but Binks was just too powerful at that point. We move on to game number 3, Michael, the final game of the semifinals here in this group.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to get into it. We've had Binks. In this stacked lobby, there are so many high level names, and Binks is someone that just showed up and is consistently smacking everyone up in these 1v1s, showing the power of that Lee Dai-Lin. And I have really been impressed with Binks so far. Obviously, I mean, with the points they've gotten, but going into this game number 3, I really am curious to see, how does that pawn battle go? Cure and I'm dominating game number 1. Cure was able to win that, had a pretty strong game. Game number 2, he lost to time dominating. Is that something where maybe he swaps up his build? Because in game number 1, he almost died. He had 40 HP as well. We watched that. So it's like, even though game number 1 went well, maybe it could be a good idea to potentially swap up what you're doing for this game number 3, because pawn just seems to be so contested.
It really does. I probably don't see the game chat with the players, but Gunner's mental might be shattered right now. We'll have to see. And I was talking about that, right? The Adela, it's not working out for Gunner. Is he gonna swap? I don't know. We'll see where the mental state is at. Maybe just YOLO onto something else and try to have a pop-off game. Because talked about it, that's all you need to get into the finals. But again, as you're mentioning, Michael, that pond scrap area, it's kind of 1-1 right now, and it's the 3rd game, so who's going to win the best of 3? Do they swap it up and somehow avoid the pond area? It's so hard to avoid ponds, because you really need that zone. It's got the gemstones, the pickaxes, the hammers, everything that you need there. It's probably going to be another show-off, I would say, but we'll see who's going to actually come out on top of that one.
I'm sorry. Cure in the chat said, Deuce, bro, I was just joking the first 2 games. Are we cool? He, in the first 2 games, was autoing him in archery at the beginning. Literally, they would, throw spells at each other, and, just Cure out here making enemies, man.
Farming the mastery, man. Farming the mastery. That's all you got to do at that point. Man, the player banter is so funny, actually.
Yeah. See Cure calling out, I want to start pond. Yeah, it's I really do think this game number 3, it's all on the line, right? For a lot of these players, unless you're sitting in someone like Binks' shoes, you're not feeling crazy confident about your second place. I mean, Pie Master definitely had a strong showing, probably going to advance on. The people with 20 points are feeling, of course, a little bit more confident. But if you get out at 18th and a couple people have really good games, you could get knocked out. So, really, their chance, their destiny is in their hands right now. And a lot of these players, even though they're bantering in the lobby, they're probably thinking about strategies of, okay, these are the people I run into in my 2nd or 3rd zone. And how do I swap it up to either not run into them or to be a little bit stronger so that I can kill them the next time we fight?
Exactly. A lot of ERBS, of course, is in RNG, in the looting aspect. If you're able to, get ahead in your looting, you can just win because you are, again, ahead. But if you're not, what adaptations do you have to make at that point? Do you go towards another zone, right? But you might, in doing so, slow yourself down, find somebody else that's strong. It's hard to keep track of where all 17 players are going to be on the map. And sure, you might have a guess of, say, where the Rosys are at a specific time in the game, but there's so many moving parts in this game. It's so hard to come out always consistently on top. We'll have to see what happens here in this game number 3. Still waiting on a few more players to join the lobby. But do you have any bold predictions here, Michael? I want to ask you, if maybe some players who haven't quite had pop-off games, maybe someone you were expecting to do really well that we haven't seen yet in this lobby.
I think Pie Master's going to have a pretty good game. He had a good first game. I feel like that his character, if he's able to make it into the late game on that heart, the Enad heart, it scales so well. So I feel like, if he doesn't die, maybe those last couple of fights happen differently, because we saw him get so many third-party kills. He was actually the one that took down Binks in game number 1, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's I think Pie Master's probably going to have a pretty strong game number 3. But, speaking of game number 3, we got 18 sweaty gamers in the lobby, all right? This is their tournament life on the line. They are going to leave it all out here. And let's go. Y'all ready? Let me ask them. But, we're going to be getting into the game, guys. I'm so hyped up for this. And then, the top 9 of this will advance to the finals. I just want to say thank you all for tuning into the tournament. If you're enjoying it, please hit the follow button. Please check out Khroen. He streams on Twitch. He's also on Twitter. He does a lot of casting. You know, we're loving throwing this tournament. We're looking to do more of them in the future. And if you have feedback for us, please join the 30K Discord and give it to us. You know, this is our first ERBS tournament. We know there are some things that haven't been run smoothly. We know that we made some mistakes, and I take a lot of ownership for a lot of those, whereas like, you know, my mistake, but we just want to get better and improve because we want to do more ERBS event moving forward. And that's why, you know, it's important for us to have our sponsors like Challenger Board. But we're getting into game number 3. Let's go.
Great transition there. Absolutely love it. Loading on into this game number 3. And of course, you know, thank you all for the community support. I just want to echo that sentiment as well, because, you know, it's the reason that you guys are here, is why we do this, especially me here. You guys are great. But
Khroen, throwing the question back to you, who do you think is going to have a standout or pop-off game in, you know, this one?
yeah, I was actually going to, I was thinking about it. It's maybe a bit of a stretch, but I want to give some props to J-Tang. I think J-Tang had some good performances yesterday. And if we look at the Sicela players in this lobby, right, it's going to be Cure, Deus, and of course J-Tang. And Deus and Cure, people know they're kind of like stand out as Sicela lords at this point. But I think J-Tang really has something to say in that matchup. Has found a couple of kills, I believe, so far, but really hasn't had that super standout game that they had yesterday. So expecting to see that. J-Tang was one of the only player to take out Mia's Roar yesterday. Sure, there's been others to do it today, but either way, that still is going to be a bit of a boon. I think a bit of a confidence booster. It paints you as definitely a threat.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, taking out one of those top tier high level players that everyone kind of respects, and you know, in these high level lobbies, you see a certain player and you know who it is, right? And even if the names aren't on, like, you know, the diverse goes archery alley to forest, right? So when you see the Hyjin in forest, you're like, hey, I don't actually want to fight that person, right? And a lot of these people will respect those kind of players. You know, someone like a Kathy on Roy, and you know, taking those consistent fights really is, you know, a bit of a statement that like you're willing to go toe to toe with some of the best players when it comes to, you know, those early game mechanical team fights. But I mean, looking at the starting map, we have 4 in archery. You know, what does this kind of foresee for the game?
Yeah, I believe we saw a very similar thing last game. Depends on who's actually going to come out on top on the loot. Of course, the Zahir, you know, wants the rubber from there. Kira looking for, I'm not sure exactly what items they're looking for in that build. It's been a while since I've played it myself. They build marble
as well, so it's pretty similar to Zahir. Like,
he
wants a nail and like paper. I think he builds EOD suits, so probably a monk's robe. It's kind of like AP items.
Got you. Yeah, Kiri gonna be looting the bottom side. Didn't get the middle. The middle is gonna be, of course, in that building, the spot to be. Kiri behind. Yeah, is actually just ditching archery already, going into the school. It says, well, if I can't loot the archery, I'm gonna be the first one to loot these top side boxes in school, at least.
Yeah, and if you're Ryan, you're so sad here, right? Because you're following behind Kiri. I'm sure Kiri's the type of player who he's, you know, yoinking all the good stuff. And you know, I actually would have liked to see maybe the Sylvia walk, you know, up, not actually follow right behind. Right?
Just taking the scraps of literally everything right now. Could have walked towards the gymnasium area, but did not do so. Both Zahirs going to be in the alley, dominating, porting out. A lot of you know, poking happening across the map, but nothing going to be resulting in kills right now. Of course, Gunner moving into the school now as well. This is pretty standard for that route. Wants to go from the school towards the forest area.
Yeah, and people are going to be starting to finish up their weapons now, so we may potentially start to see some kills. Roy does have this dagger of Yang. I think you maybe could have killed him. It's interesting.
Your Gunner actually might go down towards that school area. Cure chasing. Oh, the last auto attack leaves Gunner at 7 HP. Fortunately able to escape, but that slows down Gunner a great deal.
Yeah, Gunner in a very scary situation after that. I mean, nice call out. You know, seeing the Cure almost able to take him down. Does he even have purple weapon, or is that was just a spiky bouncy ball? Yeah, blue weapon on a lot of these caster here. Someone like a Zahir, someone like a Cecilia. It's still pretty strong. And it looks like Isu actually going to be the first one to forest here. So going to have the marble already finished up. Did I butcher her name? It's Sicilla, right?
Yeah,
Dude, I'm
Sicilla.
so bad with
You
the
like
names.
always say
I always
Cecilia.
mess it up. And like I've been playing. It's like I've played like 400 ERBS games. So like I don't have the excuse that I'm learning anymore. I just suck at names. You know, it's like
Gotta accept that fact. It's fine.
it's like
It
caster
happens to
math,
the
but
best of
caster
us.
names. You know.
Yeah. Oh man, no kills have happened yet in this game. 2 minutes in, about to be night number 1. Gunnar gets to forest finally, albeit a bit late. And if they run into, say, someone like Isu, that's going to be rough for the Adela there.
Oh.
Just need to utilize the escape, but actually we have our first kill. It's going to be the dock area. Proster finds Halifax.
Yeah, I mean Halifax definitely has to be sad about that. Had a pretty strong showing, and with that 18th, definitely can't be feeling secure about going into potentially advancing out of the finals. But a very, very strong player, Halifax. I mean, one of the best Kiaras on the server. Definitely someone you should check out. As it looks like Ryan actually getting on here by Yang. A good job juking out, and the cis hive mind, as we see a bunch of the cis ults coming out, which means anyone fighting is going to be in a bit of a scary situation. As Isu gonna be able to maybe get the free tree of life.
Yeah, perhaps so. J-Ting was one of the players, at least for me, to watch. So nice to see those slight mechanical plays using the girl in the bubble to dodge the knockback from the Sylvia. Gets the kill, I believe, because of it there. Rin falling. Don't know if they'll advance there with that placement. They've had a couple of rough games, I believe, as well. Isu. Did Isu grab the tree yet?
Yeah, he did. He did take it. I bet you he's just looking for ice, and then I don't know if he probably has to finish up his spike plank, which maybe would be a nail in archery, or beach would be my assumption. But Isu, I mean, on this here, looking very, very strong this game. Had to forfeit game number 1. Needs a pop-off game here, and has that tree of life, which means they should be able to get the bracelet of Scotty, and looking pretty strong so far on this here. If Isu's able to get a couple of kills and really snowball this game, that's how they're going to be able to advance out of it. And I feel like he's put himself in a situation where he can make that happen.
Definitely has on half of the builds right now. On the Helios as well, of course, you get those early game from the archery range to just zoom around the map a little bit faster. Proster now on full build returns to the dock area. Wants to perhaps scrap with Mia's Roy. Mia's Roy almost on full build, but does not quite have the optical camouflage suit. Yeah, maybe the craft is coming through right now. Yes, it is.
Yep, just got it. And checking in the masteries, people are just barely starting to achieve, 8, which means they will be unlocking their abilities. We'll be able to have a little bit more power in their arsenal. Another button to click as Roy, looking to rotate over here, maybe gonna go for Pie Master. As he is decently strong, a little low on SP, so doesn't actually want to get into a fight here. What could be a scary situation. Gonna drink up, hydrate. So looks like he does have SP items, but a fight actually breaking out as Gunnar and Cure are going to be scrapping a bit.
Yeah, Gunnar popping the ultimate there. Didn't look like he actually had to do that. Wasn't under threat of a lot of burst in that moment. Just could have used mobility away. Speaking mobility, Kiyoya bikes away. Monka steers on out of there, but Pie Master and Roy actually clash.
Yeah, Pie Master falling low here. Roy gonna look to try and finish him off. A good ultimate from Pie gonna allow him to kite on out here. As it looks like, down to about 700 HP. Is Roy gonna be able to finish it? Is pretty fast, but Pie Master as well does have a lot of mobility. As it looks like Spy is gonna be getting gone on here. Just a lot of fights breaking out. I mean, another one, Deuce and Gunnar. Deuce able to connect the tongue. Gunnar going down low to about half. During all of this, Pie is gonna be pushed into the red zone. Gunnar is gonna be able to get over the wall, but runs right into Cure.
Oh no, tragedy. Gets the nice escape over the wall. Wasn't actually sure if that rook had the distance to do so, but he did. And Kier says, ooh, what do we have here? It looks like a free kill. Kier gets his first of the game.
Yeah, I mean, Kier gets a gift.
Yeah.
From one sis to another, it's like it's just like a rough game here. So it looks like Deuce may come in though, is definitely stronger than Cure here.
Both of them missed the pull there, unfortunately. But just gonna give each other some respectable distance right now. Distance that Mia's Roy's trying to close the gap with 200 MS, running away on the Fiora. The build is not there yet. Roy, if he can keep chasing, this might be a free kill.
Binks coming in potentially for the KS though. Roy able to secure the ult, does get the kill. Binks, oh, the juke though from Roy. you know, stuttering, acting like he was going to run towards MS, and then, you know, able to get out there, able to secure a kill and their life. Binks not able to get the third party or the, you know, the kill still, as we've seen, you know, that happen pretty consistently. I'm dominating, going to actually run into the Fiora here, falling very low, activating the ult, actually good vision, and the turnaround damage may be able, oh no, the Fiora able to finish it off, and I'm dominating is going to fall there.
Cure dropping so low, actually, to Deus over here, and actually will go down. Deus saying, oh, I gifted you a kill earlier, but I'm going to take that kill back right now, and I'm going to get it in the form of you. Sicela, Violence, they all have one kill, but Cure is going to be the first to sell it down in this game. Now, in the Avenue area, top side, Kiyoya saying, I really don't want to chase this out.
Oh.
J-Tang finds a stun onto Wumbo. Wumbo now gives chase in response.
Yeah, Wumbo falling low here. Not going to actually be able to connect the charm, as it looks like Jae-Yang gonna just back off, use the shuriken, but Kiyoya coming in here for the third party. Jae-Yang is gonna be able to connect the stun, but is it gonna be enough? The slow from Kiyoya, as it looks like Jae-Yang is just gonna be able to walk away, but Kiyoya may now be the one getting third partied as Prismaticism, you know, one of the Hots boys is gonna be rotating in here, trying to get in on some of this action, needs to get some kills, needs to have a pop-off performance here if he wants to advance out of this group.
Definitely. Prismat joins the fray, is kind of in between the other two right now, of course. Just takes out the camera, places one of his own. Mia's Roy eating some timer to grab the cemetery tree. Probably is going to do that to get the forest core online. Probably has grabbed a meteorite, needs to make the powder, and then probably, I would assume, make the frag rack.
Yeah.
Sicela ulti's come through.
Oh.
Don't find a kill, though.
Yeah, Binks though. I mean, Binks just does so much burst damage. So I feel like I'm always on edge trying to catch his kills. You know, and want to make sure, just because that hero has so much turnaround potential. So it looks like Kiyoya and Jae-Yang are gonna run into a bit of a fight here. Posturing. Kiyoya, if he gets pulled here, could be a bit scary. As it looks like Jae-Yang able to throw the shuriken as well. Falling very low, doesn't actually have the ultimate, but Kiyoya going for the turnaround. A good bubble from Jae-Yang, and Kiyoya trying to jump over the wall. Is it gonna be enough? Yes, gonna be able to use that motorcycle and make it on out of there.
Monka steers on out. Looked like Kiyoya might have wanted a bit more than they actually could have gotten there, but does get out. Aisu-sama chases the Fiora away, chases Young Yao. There still is 2 Fioras left, right? Where's 200 MS?
200 MS.
Oh no,
died.
actually fell. Never mind,
Yeah.
never mind.
But yeah, let's check into the Masteries here. It looks like Deuce is leading at 11, and then there's actually, or no, Jae-Yang is leading at 12, and then we have Deuce at 11, and then a lot of people at 10. So, you know, pretty close right now. Would expect to see maybe whoever gets Wick, probably, you know, snowball this into potentially, you know, really taking over this game, as it looks like Binks as well as Deuce are going to be postured around here, looking to play for that objective. So it looks like Roy and Jae-Yang as well are going to be posturing and fighting. But yeah, I think Wick is really going to be the big thing fight over contention.
Definitely. Both those players in the alley wanted to port into Avenue. Actually, Mia's Roy ported to Dock instead. And there was another player there. It is Proster. They may clash yet again, but Roy, given the distance, I'm really surprised to see Roy not teleport to Avenue. But there are a couple players here between Binks and I believe it was Deus as well. Banks may be looking for this Wick line, but doesn't want to get third-partied.
Yeah, Deus actually gonna, you know, start hitting the Wick here, as it looks like Binks is just gonna, you know, posture around. Binks has stolen a Wick before, you know, that's not something new for Binks on the lead island. Had such a strong performance in that last game, is our point leader, so definitely feeling pretty secure about their advance, and actually gonna just teleport out, as it looks like Deus is gonna be able to start up the Wick here, as Binks does not want to actually opt for this fight and is going to run towards Spy here. Binks going for another kill, as it looks like, you know, Piemaster may potentially actually want to hop over to the Wick here, as it looks like Piemaster may come in. Okay. Yeah, Binks did get the kill, but I was curious if Piemaster maybe go for the steal.
Yeah, Binks got the kill. J-Tang actually falling pretty low. Same with Young Yao here. Oh, J-Tang is able to get the kill in that situation.
Yeah, J-Tang able to secure the kill. So many people fighting all over. So much action happening in this, you know, final game. But I would expect to see, I mean, kind of this point, I feel like people split up a bit, you know, really start to farm, get their food up. But, you know, Deus with that Wick is going to be looking for some kills, is going to be looking to take people out.
Very much so. Deus now porting over towards the hospital. Prismat is here. Prismat, they're gonna be passing. No, not quite. Don't believe so. There is a camera in that bush, however, depending on whose it is. Maybe it's Priz's, knows that Deus is there. Probably also knows that Deus is the one with the wick line buff, so just TP's on out over to the uptown area. Doesn't want to do anything. And this is the point in the game, of course, that players are going to be just farming it up. No wick line to contest. Binks, however, finds Prisma.
Yeah, Prismat walking right into Binks. A very scary lead island here. As actually Binks not gonna continue the chase, and Prismat gonna be able to make it on out of there, TPing away from Deus, the wick holder, right into Binks. A very scary lead island, but able to escape with his life.
A lot of action potentially in alley right now. Hospital, however, is where the action's really going to be at.
Oh, Prosser falling very low here. The vision coming out as well. Deus with that wick is going to be able to take Prosser down. 1 kill in 10th place. Not, a terrible showing for game number 3. I think that might be enough to get him over the hump. It definitely is going to be close, but Deus with the auto arms, with the EOD suit, 2 kills and a wick buff, looking very strong as we head into, the rest of this game.
Yeah, halfway mark, right? 9 players have fallen, 9 are remaining. Still a few people in Avenue here. I'm actually curious about Wumbo's build. Has Wumbo swapped off of Skill Amp and gone the Enad build? Yeah, Wumbo saying Amp Heart is not good enough here. Wants to go the Enad route.
Yeah, maybe saw how strong Piemaster had, for game number 1. Definitely feel like Enad does scale better, as auto attacks, as the game progresses, as you get more mastery. Against a lot of these stat check heroes like a Kathy, something potentially like a Lead Island, I feel like the Enad Heart does have a pretty strong matchup.
Yeah.
So
definitely
good adaptation.
I agree. I think that knowing this lobby, like Wumbo had some good placements yesterday, but not really a lot of impact in terms of kills. Mia's Roy hasn't had that much impact here today yet. Still has gotten some free kills, but
oh, the charm connects actually onto the bear. Wumbo, he was able to hit that onto Binks. May have potentially gotten the kill. Binks falling low here, as it looks like Isu and Roy are going to be fighting in Forest as well. Piemaster around in Uptown, potentially could be heading over towards the Forest for the third party, as Isu and Roy have been in a little bit of a scrap here. Both of them kind of posturing. Actually, it looks like Binks and Wumbo are going to get back into it. Ult coming out by both of them. Neither of them connecting, but ults changed or exchanged.
Yeah, if Binks had actually buffered the Wumbo ult, he could have canceled it, but went the opposite direction instead. Wumbo going over the wall, Binks not giving chase there. Gets chunked out to half, actually. If the... Ooh, Roy. Forced to run away from Isu here.
Yeah, Isu, it looked like, Roy was maybe trying to chase him down. And that really is where Zahir shines. Having someone chase you where you can freely hit your spells and then maybe potentially blow them up. That's how you want to play team fights. So Roy, maybe he was looking for a kill opportunity, and once it goes sour, just decides to, run away, make that smart decision of just, let's heal up, let's just scale into the late game and, get those placement points.
If Roy, as the melee Kathy player, can get the jump onto any range, sure, that fight will definitely go their way, but it didn't at that point. Speaking of not going their way, Kyoya's fight is not going their way at all. Deus takes that very decisively, picks up his third. Binks actually goes down to Wumbo as well.
Yeah, Wumbo able to actually finally take Binks down. They were fighting, I feel like, for a couple of minutes, and finally Wumbo actually able to take it out. Prismat does have the Chinese Opera Mask Mithril Armor as well as the Moonlight Pendant going in onto Wumbo here, able to sidestep that Q. The question is he gonna, go in for the all-in? Wumbo has the ult still, so could potentially activate that, as it looks like Deus is gonna be going on to Piemaster here. Piemaster forced to use the ult relatively early. Deus just so strong, definitely the scariest person in the lobby, and with that not connecting, Piemaster should be able to make it out safe.
So close, but the mobility from the heart means Piemaster escapes. Both hearts still alive. 2 Cicelas alive as well in this top 7 situation. Ooh. Same with Prismat and Roy, however. Piemaster continuing to run away. Does not want to fight Deuce. Deuce still has a little bit of that wick line buff left. Probably a bit under a minute, I would imagine. Maybe a little bit less.
Yeah, around there. Isu, I mean, pretty much been playing in this bush for the last couple of minutes, just trying to get a pick, trying to get a kill. We're down to 7. It looks like Roy. Oh, Roy. We just got the end of that. J-Yeg is gonna fall. Assist ults are gonna come out.
Yeah, Sisalt comes out. Dave's not really finding anything with that, though. Prismat resting in a bush is forced to juke Wumbo's abilities there and just run the other way. But look who's the other way. It is going to be Isu on the Zahir.
Oh yeah, Prismat running into him. If he's able to juke potentially this Q, it really is the big ability on this here, since Isu does not have any W stacks. Is about a 6-second cooldown. You see the vision instantly thrown out by Isu. Throws the tornado as well as the ult, throwing pretty much every ability. Isu is pretty low on cooldowns, able to connect some of the W's though, so is going to be able to walk away. But, you know, really doesn't want the Rozzy to be able to get that all-in situation, as it looks like Roy as well as Deus may potentially get into fight. I mean, I don't know if Roy wants this, as Deus has 17 mastery, leading the lobby, followed up next by Wumbo at 16.
Yep. Roy down there, I believe it was with that 14, but Wick Line buff no longer on the table. We know what our final zone is going to be, and that is Forest. Avenue and Pawn are going to close off in a minute and 20 seconds. A lot of players already postured. Prismat actually has that tight little corner by the car. Actually was not spotted, I believe, by me as Roy on the way down. Might even let Deus pass by as well. Deus just resting in the middle of the road, however.
Oh, Prismat, really smart, you know, decision there, just knowing Fog of Wars. It looks like Piemaster actually going to get gone on here, able to sidestep the charm, but falling very, very low, not able to connect their charm themselves, as it looks like Pi is going to be forced to retreat here, potentially could have to eat a decent amount of red or use that ultimate, as it looks like Pi just posturing, doesn't want to actually walk into that red zone. Khroen, it looks like, you know, we really are going to have some action here. Potentially a big fight is going to break out, as these two hearts are going to go at it.
Yeah, going at it once again. Wumbo this time being forced back, but Piemaster as well takes a lot of damage. The sellout comes through. Dave's looking at third party the situation, as Kathy as well. Me and Roy waiting in the wings.
Yeah, Deus doing a decent amount of damage. I mean, Piemaster just in such a scary situation, posturing around, ready to run towards the red. Not 100% sure on their red timer, but Pi, oh, actually able to juke that. Going to use all of their spells to try and get out here. Able to connect the charms into Deus as well, as it looks like Roy now wants to join the fight. Piemaster escapes, but Roy, maybe the casualty, is Deus comes in and, you know, secures that kill, secures 4 for this lobby, as it looks like, you know, there is going to be another fight breaking out here. Deus able to actually get the pushback, get the knockback. The dance, the ultimate comes out here. A third party, though, potentially Piemaster could come back in.
Piemaster could come back in. Where's Prismat? Nowhere to be seen in all of this. Just waiting in the top of the zone. All right. Deus, Wumbo, Isu going to be vying for the position of that bottom zone, I believe. Piemaster as well is closest to it. See what happens here, Michael. The tension is building. Top 5 remain, but we can only have one person come out on top. Is this going to be Isu's game to clinch the finals with?
Yeah, he needs it if he wants to advance into this next series. Same with Prismaticism. If he wants to make it to the finals, everyone needs a strong game here. Everyone needs that top placement. I feel like Deuce, so far with his placement, probably has secured it, but everyone else, you know, really needs to do as good as they can. Prismat, you know, at 50 seconds, it looks like we're gonna have 3 people. Isu only with 25 seconds on the red. That is not where you want to be. Gonna throw out the tornado. Prism falling low. The boar actually stunning onto Isu as well. Prismat trying to full retreat. During all of this, Deus actually slays Piemaster, but Prism is gonna get charmed, and it's tragic. And that's one of the Hots boys falling, as it looks like Isu is just sitting in this bush. 1v1v1. Isu is going to be the next, and now it's down to Heart versus Cecilia. Vision going down, as it looks like the board, they're both playing around it, both using it to tank spells. The stun though from Deus is gonna be enough, and he seals it. He finishes it off with a 6 kill, you know, first place victory in game number 3, and you know, with that, surely is going to be advancing into the next game.
Of course. Moving on to the finals, that performance is Deus there. That 6 kill banger of a game from pretty much start to finish there, you know, securing the wick as well, but they already had a few kills at that point. Let them scale on into the finals super well. Man, what a 3 games that we had. Wumbo swapping it up from that amp to going that Enat Heart build actually picks up 3 kills off the back of that decision. That's really massive as well. Getting that 2nd place. Isu did get 3rd, but had 0 kills. Like, is that going to be enough placement points to move on? I'm not so sure.
Yeah, that hurts for Isu too, because he was unable to make it into game number one, and we weren't really able to delay it because we don't want to overlap with ERCL duos later today, because we do want to make sure that a lot of the players playing in our tournament can also play in those. So unfortunately, he did have to make game number one, and that would really suck, if he misses out by maybe just a couple of points, where he's probably telling himself, I could have gotten at least top 10. It's like
Yeah.
at least as long as I don't die first, it's like it's better than what it was. So definitely, as a hero player, I would love to see him advance, but we are just getting the scores updated. It actually looks like they have it, and we're now just waiting for me to input it in. So I'm going to do that, and we are going to know who all the people are that advanced out of this group. And
Yeah.
let's get on into it. Hopping over to that scoreboard, it is going to be in first place. We have Binks, 57 points. Deuce with 42. Pi at 37. Proster at 30. Roy at 27. And Spy at 27. Fry is going to have 25. Prismat squeaking in at the end there with 24. And Halifax getting 24 points as well. Honorable mentions, Jay Yang was really close, as well as Cure Isu in at 13th, with 15 points, very close to potentially making it. Again, if he was able to play in that first game, one of the best Zahirs on the server, definitely, you guys should go check out all of these players' streams, as most of them do stream on Twitch, and definitely would appreciate your support and follow.
Definitely. Oh man, heart goes out to the players who narrowly missed it, right? I believe you said, yeah, the J-Tang did not make it. They had the 7th place, the couple of kills there, but I guess was not enough. Cure as well, right? Falling. Man, it's just, there's so much competition, right? Once the tournament really keeps moving forward, and we get, from the quarters to the semis and semis to finals, like there's just so much skill between all the players that really anything can happen. It depends on who plays well in the day, of course. It depends on your approach to it. It depends on a lot of small factors, but they all really come down and culminate to this finals lobby, Michael.
Yeah, I am so excited for this lobby. We know the half from our group. I can, go in and probably, actually, it looks like Casa, they're still finishing up that game. So guys, if you would like to see, the other series, there's another group of ERBS tournament, games going on right now on Casanova's channel. It's being casted by Casanova and Motif. You guys definitely should go check it out, as it looks like they are just, or maybe they just finished up their group, and we are going to be getting into the finals very momentarily. So excited. We're going to be going to, a brief break here, but when we come back, we'll have the full group for you, as well as, the upcoming best of 5, finals for $700. Very excited for this series. Thank you all for tuning in, and we're just going to go to a quick 5-minute break, and then we will be right back.